Welcome to the Marketing Smarts live show by MarketingProfs and the Marketing Smarts podcast. Technical difficulties already this morning. Have you ever had one of those Mondays where you're like, it's going to be a good day? And of course, it continues to be a good day. But everything from a technology standpoint that can go wrong probably is going to go wrong on one of those days. Literally, we just were logged into our system and now we're not. So let me log back in here real quick and we will be good to go. By the way, let me know, how do you deal with technology when it gives you the old, hey, not today? Do you deal with it well, or do you take it in stride? Let us know in the chat pane. Okay, let's see if we're good to go. I do believe we are good to go now with that little speed bump out of the way. Let me go ahead and try this one more time. By the way, it's beautiful that we can edit these and cut all of this out up until this point. Welcome to the Marketing Smarts live show by MarketingProfs and the Marketing Smarts podcast, where we dive into B2B news, resources, valuable guest content, and much, much more each and every week. If you're a B2B marketer looking for a place to learn, keep up to date, and have some fun along the way, we'll grab a beverage, a notepad, or at least some style of writing utensil. And welcome to the show. Hello to all my Marketing Smarts live viewers today. I'm super excited to bring you episode 60 of the Marketing Smarts live show. This week's topic is all about the shift from digital transformation to digital evolution. So if you're ready to get your learn on, buckle up. Let's get ready to rock and roll. You know me. I'm your boy, George B. Thomas, speaker, trainer, catalyst, and the host of this here show, the Marketing Smarts live show, as well as the Marketing Smarts podcast found on your favorite podcast app. Our guest clips today are brought to you by none other than Jill Roberson. Now, Jill Roberson is an award-winning digital marketer with expertise in omni-channel marketing strategies, testing personalization, and maximizing marketing technology investments. As VP of Digital Marketing at Velour, Jill oversees its marketing program and practice, which are dedicated to crafting and implementing digital marketing strategies to drive engagement and loyalty with target audiences. Previously, Jill served as the Senior Director of Product Marketing at Sitecore, where she was responsible for bringing products from concept to commercialization, as well as being a thought leader for the role digital experience play in marketing programs to create connections and build relationships with target audiences. Now, remember, the clips of Jill Roberson today are pulled from the full Marketing Smarts podcast episode. And if you want to listen to the full interview with Jill Roberson and myself, make sure to tune into the Marketing Smarts podcast. Link in the full show will be in the description below after the live show ends. Now, in this episode, again, I'm talking with Jill Roberson about the shift from digital transformation, what has been and everybody knows about, to digital evolution. What might that be? In this first clip, I wanted to get Jill's thoughts on any templates, hacks, tips, tricks, all the words to help you as B2B marketers be able to lean into this digital shift into evolution. And here's what she had to say when I asked her, Jill, what are some templates, hacks, tips, tricks, or knowledge the Marketing Smarts audience needs to know about today's topic?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's a template out there, right? That would make it almost too easy. It's still a big initiative and a big undertaking, even to, evolve versus transform. But I think when it comes to tips and tricks around it, the first is, to leave your ego at the door, right? A lot of times when we're thinking about marketing efforts or looking at operational processes, things like that, people hold it so close to the chest and they take it personally. I think we always have to be open to the idea, right, that there could be a better way to do stuff. And yeah, it might be uncomfortable at first, but at the end of the day, we have to kind of ground ourselves in what our business is trying to achieve and the benefit that that an organization or a business is delivering to their consumers, and focus on that, right? Focus on the end user and the beneficiaries of this evolution. So I think the first tip is leave the ego at the door. Digital evolution is not personal, right? It's something that has to happen, again, to respond to market trends and shifts in the way that, everybody's interacting nowadays. So I think that's kind of the first tip. And I think the second tip is too, and also kind of going back to a myth as well, is that technology is not going to solve all the problems, right? You can't just purchase something, get it implemented, and all of a sudden everything's magically fixed, right? When I would say the tip here is, technology helps to facilitate, but ultimately we still need to incorporate and take into consideration the people aspect of evolution, right? Thinking about how it's going to change our day to day. How do we use technology and the digitization of processes to our benefit, right? How do we best leverage them? So I think that's a second tip. And then the third I would be is, involve multiple stakeholders. A lot of times things like digital evolution will oftentimes stem from, either IT or marketing or combination thereof. But ultimately, that evolution is something that should impact the entire business. So making sure to break down silos of conversation around evolution is going to make sure that you're taking into consideration all of the inputs, right, as part of this process and not leaving anyone outside in the cold. And, again, I think that also helps to get buy-in, right, for these changes that are going to be made. So making sure that, you're bringing diverse opinions to the table when you start the process of evolution, but also as you go through it.
Did you hear that? Evolving to transforming is a big initiative. Leave your ego at the door. Don't take it personally. Ooh, that's a good one. Have a mindset of collaboration, as we all should. Focus on the end user. They'll be a lot happier if you do. And realize technology is not going to be your silver bullet. At least those are the things that I heard. What was your big takeaway from this first clip from Jill Roberson? Put the answer to that question in the chat pane or let me know on X using the hashtag MPB2B. And of course, tag me using @GeorgeB.Thomas. Now, we'll get back to Jill and her thoughts on the shift from digital transformation to digital evolution. But first, I have to ask, are you part of the MarketingProfs community yet? If not, become part of the MarketingProfs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. You won't regret the additional learning you'll be adding to your life. Now, it's time for one of my favorite sections in the B2B news, where we talk about breaking B2B news or really important tips we find on the Google News tab related to you and your B2B marketing or B2B business. This week, the title is How B2B Marketers Can Tap into Out-of-Home Transit Advertising by Nikita Sherbina. Hopefully, Nikita, I said that correctly. Transit advertising refers to an out-of-home, OOH, marketing strategy via a channel that consists of various modes of public transportation. Because millions of people commute to work daily, although do they? Are we back to that? Some. Enough. Anyway, transit advertising provides a unique opportunity to capture the attention of a captive audience consisting of a diverse range of people and showcase your brand and products or services to them. In fact, transit advertising increases brand awareness up to 89% among commuters. Want to learn the 5 benefits of transit advertising? Well, to read this article, check out the link below when the live show is over. So let's get back to Jill Roberson and her Marketing Smarts podcast episode. Next, I wanted to ask Jill, what would get in the way of the Marketing Smarts listeners and viewers of the Marketing Smarts live show around this topic? So I asked her, what hurdles have you seen historically get in the way of B2B marketers when it comes to evolving versus transforming their digital strategies? And here's what she wanted you to know.
It's a really phenomenal question. I think we talked about the fact that a lot of digital transformation projects fail. That being said, it's still a thing. So I think one of the biggest hurdles is actually just convincing people of the fact that it's evolution versus transformation. People get so jazzed about transformation. They're like, oh my God, we're going to transform. Let's throw a bunch of resources, a bunch of money at this project. And in 2 years, we're going to celebrate. We're going to pop the champagne. And it's getting people out of that mindset. Digital evolution, I wouldn't say is super new, but it definitely hasn't been ingrained in our brains the way transformation has. So I think the biggest hurdle is just getting buy-in on the fact that we're not just going to do this once. This is constant work. It's like diet and exercise, right? You want to have a good regimen of that so that, you can stay active and stay healthy. And it's the same thing, right? Convincing people that they need to think about the business and the evolution and how it's going to change consistently, I think is a big hurdle, like a mental hurdle for people to get through to even get these projects off the ground. And then I think once you kind of take that first step and you're able to show results of a change, of an evolution much more quickly than you could with transformation, then I think, everyone starts coming over those hurdles with you, right? And now you're really running the race, for lack of a better analogy.
Did you hear that? A big hurdle is just convincing people of the fact that it's evolution versus transformation moving forward. Make sure you get buy-in. From this day forward, it will be constant work and consistent interaction and iterations over time. Get through that mental hurdle first. Now, we'll get back to Jill Roberson in a few minutes, but first it's time for some dope B2B learnings from the vault of MarketingProfs articles. That's right, it's time to dig into the treasure trove of valuable information and pull out 2 pieces of gold to help you be a better B2B marketer. Article number 1 this week is Digital Transformation. See what I did there? How to keep your progress on track by Sitecore. As I did it twice, by the way, if you notice, because Jill used anyway. If I have to explain it, it just as the web takes on even more central role in social interactions, commerce, and professional collaboration, more organizations are hastening the progress of their digital transformation to meet the needs of remote workers and homebound customers. In the short term, brands are looking to immediately and competitively support their employees and customers with the experiences, content, and services they require. In the long term, they're eager to ensure the digital infrastructure is never again underprepared for change. You're going to want to keep reading this one. Article number 2 this week is Approaching Digital Transformation. Whoops, did it again. With a Marketing Mindset by Lena Lyer. Digital transformation efforts are often siloed in IT departments, but marketers should play a critical role in their company's moves toward digital maturity. Face-to-face relationships are at a halt and in-person events are canceled, were for the near future. So B2B marketers must find new ways to relate to and engage with their customers. Listen, the moral of the story is the user changed over the last couple of years. So hyper-personalized B2C engagement and B2B tactics or B2C engagement tactics are seeping into the B2B realm because of all of this change, as social media and email marketing are no longer enough to deliver compelling user experiences. Buyers now expect highly interactive human exchanges, whether in person or digital, across every single touch point. Want to keep learning more? If so, check out the link in the description below after the live show to get access to both amazing MarketingProfs articles. Okay, back to Jill Roberson. Let's dive back into this conversation. The shift from digital transformation to digital evolution. Ladies and gentlemen, in this clip, I wanted to give you, the Marketing Smarts listeners and viewers, a peek into what success looks like pertaining to shifting from digital transformation to digital evolution. So I asked Jill the simple but powerful question: how do we know we have hit the bullseye? What does digital evolution success look like? Hear her thoughts.
Sure. Yeah. I think very similar to, the fact that digital evolution looks different for every organization, I think success is going to look different too. But underlying that, in my mind, success of kind of getting to that digital evolution nirvana is the fact, or getting your team, I should say, into a constant state of evaluating what's being done, right? Not just sitting back with our feet up on our desk and saying, all right, we're good for a year or 2 years. We don't have to worry about anything. What we have in place is perfect. I think success really looks like a constant evaluation of what's being built, both internally for operations, but also what's being delivered in terms of how the business is being presented, right? I think that really is a point of success when again, no one's comfortable exactly where they are, right? Things can still feel good and we're still hitting metrics, but there's almost always this desire to understand what's next, right? The constant asking of the question, what's next? What more can we do? I think when people get to that point, then you've really hit this great stride of digital evolution. And I think too, another way to measure success is, we talk about for evolution, you want to take a long-term roadmap and break it up into smaller milestones. And so having realistic metrics assigned to those milestones, and as you're checking those off, I think that indicates success as well. I would caveat that though is, any learning, is a success. If an organization is going through evolution and is making change, if they're learning something about a better way to do something internally, a better way to engage their audience, then the evolution is succeeding that way too, because we're continuously learning and evolving based on those learnings. And to me, anytime you're learning, it's successful.
Woo, did you hear that? We'll get to it in a second, but a couple other things. It's going to look different for every organization. Getting your team into a constant state of what's being done, realizing nothing is perfect and what can we make better. Ooh, mindset. We feel good and are hitting metrics, but we're asking ourselves, what's next? Evolution is a long-term roadmap, and I love this. Any learning is a success. Now, we're going to get some words of wisdom from Jill Roberson here in a few minutes, but right now it's time to turn the spotlight on you, the Marketing Profs community. Yep, time for From the hashtag MP B2B community. We searched far and wide in the hashtag MP B2B universe to find amazing information and conversation to bring to you, the masses. So first, make sure you're using the hashtag, and second, make sure you have fun and add value to the community along the way. Then we'll spotlight you or your crew on the show. This week, it's, well, us. But hang in there with me. Marketing Profs on LinkedIn, and the message goes a little something like this. Happy birthday to our webinar producer, Robin Carr. That's right. I actually get the pleasure of working with Robin as somebody who MCs the Marketing Profs webinars. You've seen Robin's work in action when you're attending our free marketing training webinars. And if you haven't attended any, get on our email list ASAP. Robin just returned from her 35th cruise. That's a great way to celebrate. Thank you, Robin, for the awesome work you do for our marketing audience. Happy birthday. Tons of balloon emojis. You've got to check it out. Hashtag MPB2B, hashtag marketing, hashtag B2B, hashtag B2B marketing, hashtag birthday. But you need to check out the description and click that link, dang on it, and go wish Robin a happy belated birthday. Let her know that she is loved by the Marketing Smarts live and podcast listeners and viewers. Marketing Smarts viewers, I have to ask, are you going to be next to get the spotlight? Remember, community, use that hashtag MPB2B on Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, and get the light shined on your awesomeness in the next episode or a future episode of the Marketing Smarts live show. Pro tip, it won't hurt if you tag me in your post as well. I'm at George B. Thomas on LinkedIn and X, Mr. George B. Thomas on Facebook. All right, let's kick it back to Jill and some words of wisdom around this topic of the shift from digital transformation to digital evolution. Here are the words that Jill Roberson wanted to leave us with, her words of wisdom, if you will.
There's kind of two pieces to it. One, in terms of digital evolution, really think of yourself as a trailblazer. Getting organizations to refocus or shift their focus, I should say, from big bad transformation to smaller incremental rounds of evolution. It's not going to be easy, right? Going through any sort of change is hard, and playing a role in terms of helping an organization or your business shift their mindset to constant evolution, constant learning, relying on data more than they have been in the past. That's a big thing, and you're really trailblazing. We've focused on transformation for so long, and this shift is not an easy one to make. So, take pride in the fact that if you're starting this process or spearheading it, that you're really helping the business, not just today, but in the long term. And then I think the second piece of it is, again, get comfortable being uncomfortable. The way that we learn and become either the best versions of ourselves, the best employees we can be for our business, our organization, the best leaders we can be within those organizations, is to constantly think, what more can I do? Where am I too comfortable in what I've been doing in the past? And can I move the needle? Can I try something different in order to make change? And I think with that comes also the comfortability of failing, right? Being able to take the hit, take the L, and say, you know what? Maybe wasn't the right approach, but I'll continue to evolve. And I think that's such a big piece of it is, the learning aspect, being uncomfortable, and also just, being okay with the fact that you're not going to get it right 100% of the time. But again, that learning piece of it is going to continue to move the dial on digital evolution.
Think of yourself as a trailblazer. Get into rounds of evolution versus this big bad transformation mindset. Take pride that you're really helping the business today and also in the long term. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be a life lesson as well, dropped in that knowledge. Have you enjoyed today's journey? Let us know. Use the hashtag MPB2B on whatever platform you're joining us on. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Time flies when you're having fun. Head to the description below. Click on the links to the full Marketing Smarts podcast with Jill Roberson and keep on learning more about the shift from digital transformation to digital evolution. Remember, these were just a few clips of the original Marketing Smarts podcast interview. If you got value from today's show, hit that like and better yet, share it with a friend. To keep learning more, hit subscribe or watch additional Marketing Prof videos on your favorite social channel or head over to our YouTube channel if you're not there yet. Or you can go tune into the original Marketing Smarts podcast episode on your favorite podcast app and leave us a rating and review while you're over there. Don't forget to become part of the Marketing Profs community by heading over to mprofs.com/MP today. That's mprofs.com/MP today. And as always, remember to be a happy, helpful, humble B2B marketing human. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Marketing Smarts Live show next week.